Hey Lloyd,
Yeah, Colette?
the professor wants us to explain chapter 10. It's about forgiveness and reconciliation.
Forgiveness, huh? Well, if that's the case, we need an example to talk about.
Hmm.
Hmm. Oh, I know. We could use the example of how I need to forgive my father for betraying me.
Wow, Lloyd, that's pretty intense. Plus, not everyone knows your heroic backstory.
Well, that's simple enough to explain. Kronos joined us on our epic adventure. I didn't know he was my daddy because I'd been abandoned at birth. Then, he betrays us all and reveals he's working for this strange dude in a onesie, who's extremely evil despite his appearance. And when Kratos finally did tell me, it was at a really inopportune moment.
Noel, I am your father.
No! That's impossible!
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No! And now I'm in the process of forgiving him.
Okay, well then, first we should probably cover what forgiveness actually is. Forgiveness is defined one way as the decision to reduce negative thoughts, affects, and behavior, such as blame and anger, towards an offender or harmful situation, and to begin to gain a better understanding of the offense and the offender.
Sounds complicated.
It's not actually. Basically, forgiveness is being able to accept what has happened and move on without any hostility.
Oh, okay. So I need to accept that my father betrayed me and move on from there.
Yeah,
Oh, and I remember learning that there's a three-step model of forgiveness. There's injured innocence, obsession, and transcendence.
injured innocence is right after the event occurred. In your instance, it would have been when Kratos revealed his relation to you, even though you were enemies. It seems like your world is flipped upside down.
That totally happened. Who? Who am I? So that means obsession would be when all you can do is think about what happened to you.
Right. And the third part, transcendence, is when you accept what happened.
And forgiveness is important. But there's a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation. Reconciliation is the process of repairing a relationship so that re engagement, trust, and cooperation become possible after a transgression or violation.
So it's when you form a new relationship with someone who's harmed you.
Seems so. So, first I have to forgive my dad, and then I can attempt to reconcile the relationship.
And to have reconciliation, there are four strands.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, Lloyd. First is the strand of truth. This is simply being able to talk about what truthfully happened in the conflict.
So, that means the second strand is the strand of forbearance, which is to refrain from revenge or punishment. This is super important because you can't have forgiveness and reconciliation if all you're thinking about is revenge.
Indeed. The third strand is the strand of empathy. This is being able to empathize with the offender. It's coming to an understanding that they need kindness and compassion just as much as you do, and it's important for reconciliation.
And the fourth strand has a really long name. It's a commitment to remain in the relationship because of our essential interdependence. That's a mouthful.
The definition is exactly as it sounds. It's making a commitment to the relationship.
Well, that sums up the entire chapter.
Yeah, and now that you has this knowledge, you can work on forgiving your dad and then move to reconcile the relationship.
You're right, Colette. With this, there's a new hope for real change.